Very exciting.
But yeah, no, I must admit, Jesus Christ, I owe you big time for Theo's YouTube video. Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
that was
the fucking great, eh?
yeah, that, and then also the one that you sent me as well. The is it Atlantic?
I think so.
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
I hope they were of use.
They've been sound. I mean, like what I'm writing about, I'm only just like well, not briefly, but I'm kind of talking about it for probably NFTs for probably about, I don't know, I'm gonna probably say maybe 400 or 500 words, so not too much, but I don't know. I've no knowledge of NFTs, so it was just like, yeah, it's pretty sound to be fair. Like, no, I still, the only thing is, I still don't quite understand like whether if it's just going to be a craze or if it's going to continue like after COVID.
I don't think anybody understands that. That's to be seen.
Because it's just, I don't know.
I mean, it's only growing right now. So now NFTs can be literally anything. Like, I've got someone I know working in the music industry, and he's saying that artists are starting to, like music artists are starting to put out their work as NFTs. And I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
Because it's like just a sound piece. But the thing is that anything unique can be an NFT. So in that scenario, you know, like a song that is performed differently every time, every different performance could be an original NFT of its own, because, you know, the copyright lay with the artist, and as long as it's minted properly, it can be distributed individually, even if it's the exact same song with just a few variations. So,
I mean, an NFT essentially is just like, a fucking really expensive link. Am I, like, is it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess it's not a link, but it's a very expensive file.
Yeah, it's just a very expensive file.
It's a very expensive file with embedded blockchain, which secures ownership, basically, and protects copyright, which is really beneficial for music and visual artists because they can always trace back ownership of the product, and also distribute it and actually make money on it, which has been notoriously rare in the industry. But I feel like it's also pushed this whole sort of like abstract art, all of this like bullshit art movement, because people are figuring out that they can make money. So if they can make, you know, 100 shitty works, because for an NFT drop you need like a family of work. So
right, it's always a collection of works. Yeah, I got
Yeah, and normally there are like 100 or something. So limited edition, and each somehow different, but maybe minimally different. For example, I feel like one of the famous examples is this artist, and he makes these monkeys, and they're like dressed up differently, or the background is different. Like maybe they're in space, maybe they're in school. I don't know. Like, don't ask me. It doesn't look great.
Right.
But it's selling for God knows how long, and for God knows how much, and all because they have like slight variations, and people find it cool. But like, I don't understand. I don't pretend to. I would not.
Yeah, no, same. I mean, like for me, like because I didn't quite realize until from like the article you sent us, and then just kind of going on like a rabbit hole of just NFT-ness, if that's a word. Just like how music, how like music artists have like just really. I feel like music artists are using it in the same way that they would with almost like tour merch, but they can't tour at the moment, so they're just partnering with like. Just, you know, varying established artists and just creating one-off collaborations. As you say, that's what I've noticed today. Like all of the examples I'm looking at, they're all collections. It's always like a collection of like 10 or 15. But fucking hell, like why the fuck is it that somebody? I just found it today. Like somebody bought. I like Grimes, but spent like 6 million. Like she sold 6 million of like 10 NFTs. It's.
Craig, honestly.
I don't know. Why would you buy? Why would you buy that? Why would you buy?
Precisely. When you can stream it, you know. I don't understand it. You know, no. I'm all for the physical object, so I can't.
Yeah. Also as well that that was so disappointing last year. Their
The fucking show? It's horrific.
Oh my god, what the hell?
It's horrific. Yeah, it was definitely, when you sent the platform, I was like, yes, it was definitely Creative Britain.
Yeah.
And problem is they sent it out too late.
Mm-hmm.
They sent it out in like late June when everybody was already on break. And then they were like, you can contribute to this show and have an opportunity to exhibit. And all the universities are partnering, or like not all, but like some universities are partnering to partake in this. And first of all, you were like, I don't know this platform. I want a physical show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why would I do this right now?
Mm-hmm.
So most people just didn't even do it. In the thing that you sent me, I didn't find anyone, but it wasn't my course though. But I tried looking at just KSA, and I didn't find anyone either.
Right.
So I feel like most of my course just didn't partake anyway, because we thought, first of all, we were getting a physical show at some point, because we were promised it, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
And then second of all, because nobody knows this platform, nobody would go on it. Why would we spend time trying to register when nobody gives a fuck? You know?
Yeah. I think when I was looking for your course like today, I actually don't think that yours was even like a category on there, you know? I think there was
probably
a lot of
because nobody submitted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was a couple where it was, there was a couple of courses where there was like, you know, maybe 10, 15 profiles that you could then click onto. But then for some courses it was like 1 or 2, and then I'm imagining the ones that they didn't get any, it was just like, well, there's no point of even, you know, there's no point of even creating like a category for, you know, fine art, I guess, for Kingston. But yeah, because it's quite shocking when you see that one last year and then you see the one that they've got this year. Because the one that they've got this year, I think, is pretty good. But what I've been like writing about is that I feel that you almost need like, how can I say? With all the funding Kingston gets, instead of having it where you're just lumping like masters and BA students all in one website, it almost needs to be where each course has its own website instead. Which I know, because otherwise I was trying to find like a friend of mine, Gabriel's work, and I'm having to physically type in his net. Like, there was so many like, you know, different. You know how people's attention spans are. You have to like physically write in his name. And then you can find him, and then it only shows four. I mean, it has all like the different links to his work and stuff, but then it's just it only shows four static images of his work. So I don't know. I feel like that they need to make that a bit better. But yeah, I just felt it's almost like it was too much. I feel like if you went into like a physical museum, at least you can, you know, you're in a museum and you're prepared to walk around and stuff. Whereas online, it doesn't work the same way, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, there are a series of really high quality. Obviously, at the beginning of this whole thing, like, there wasn't really access to such high quality software, like online exhibition software. But there are such high quality options that they could have invested in, and the fact that then the MA or BA show the following year exhibited at the Saatchi, I just think it's fucking outrageous that we didn't get a show at all, and not even an effort to make like an immersive digital environment when we all went through the effort of trying to create one for our own submissions. Like, I was trying to draw it out so that it looked like a 3D environment when I submitted my final project.
Right.
And we don't even get the courtesy of that for our show.
Right.
So I thought that was quite ridiculous. Actually, there's a show I'll send you. You should just see it. For reference purposes, it's like a digital exhibition that you can go and walk around in, but you should do it from a laptop.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking cool. 1 second.
I'm literally like, actually, now you've said that, it's funny because I'm actually tracing, there's a girl on my course from last year who they created one, but then they took it down, and she's just being very, very slow to like replying to me. So
why did they take it down?
I don't know. I mean, it was really cool as well. Like, they were showing like different illustrators and animators off my course their work, and you could, you know, it was probably like the example you're about to show me, where, you know, you could walk around and it feels like you're in a digital gallery. But yeah,
literally, actually, in this one, it feels like you're in the physical gallery. They filmed it in the physical gallery and did it. But you can do this online too, and they put like information points next to all of them.
Okay.
But yeah, like, email it to yourself and do it off a computer.
Yeah.
Much better than off of the phone, but
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm definitely gonna check this out now. But yeah, no, it's annoying because like for me, that's the example that they created will be perfect for my diss. Actually that was something that I thought was quite interesting because I've done like quite a few interviews. One of them with a woman. Did you ever meet a woman at Kingston called Jana Schultz? She was like,
sounds familiar.
She does curate. She's like the head of curation. She does like a.
Oh yes.
Okay, I feel like I feel like I don't know. Have anyone I know that you would potentially know her just because she used to work at the V&A and anyway.
I think I've come across her before, but we didn't really like know each other.
Okay, I had like a 2-hour conversation with her like a month ago, and she was saying about how I thought it was quite interesting about rather than trying to like then it's cool to have where it feels as if you're walking around an actual museum and stuff online, but rather than doing that, it's more. She said that I feel like with COVID, what museums have learned, it's more valuable just to have an online database or just the collections on there as opposed to trying to recreate that
the experience because you can't anyway.
Yeah, I feel that's what it needs to be. That's what all museums should have instead, as opposed to where you're walking around. Whether that be they've done it with animators, or they've done it where it's almost like a what's that thing called, like the Google Culture and Arts, where they've collaborated.
Yes.
Where they've collaborated with like you can walk around like the Rijksmuseum or the Van Gogh Museum. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was saying that she thinks that's the doing it where it's more so you're just showing the works in your just flat. You know how it is when you go onto like the Tate's website or something like that.
Yeah, in a standard browser sort of format.
Do you think? Would you agree with that, or what do you think?
No, I mean, I think it would be nice to have both because it is a problem that when you film sort of an exhibition this way, if you don't set up the points correctly in between the works, then viewing them can be difficult within the sort of visual tour.
Right.
So I think it would be good, to be honest, to do both because sometimes I don't have time to walk through that exhibition, but I would like to know what list of works are there because the biggest problem is then, if you're using it for research purposes, is then finding the names of those artworks and stuff like that, because if you're walking around the exhibition, you have to click all the information points, if there even are any. Maybe you're just seeing the visuals. Mm-hmm. So yes, I think a digital catalog is pretty essential so that people are able to refer to the exhibition, but I think completely taking out the experience is sort of even sadder. I mean, I think obviously it can't be recreated, but at the same time, I feel like it's sad not to try.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, sorry, I'm just
maybe that's just my like viewer's point because I really like how far digital tours have come.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. I wasn't too sure how I felt about with what she said. I mean, I understood what she was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I totally see where she was coming from.
But I do think it is cool to. Yeah, I suppose as well. It's just how, depending on the museum, how much money they've got. I suppose. Yeah. That's probably just.
Yeah, because obviously that the sort of database option is much more affordable and much faster and easier to put together. So for some shows, they may not have the resources to put together a digital tour, in which case it would just be useful to have something to refer to because there are plenty of museums, like smaller ones that don't have budget, who just put the name of the exhibition and a few photos from it. And I understand that it's for people to actually come and physically see it because obviously right now what they're struggling to navigate is the hybrid model. It's not one or the other. It's how do we make people come to the museum if they can, but see it if they can't. Yeah. And I think that's the issue they're facing because if they show all the work on the website, they might risk people not being as interested to physically come into the space. Sure. However, I think if people were going to go to a museum, they're going to go anyway because you don't go just to say you've seen the artwork, right? You go to actually experience it in person. So I think they would still get the majority of audiences back anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I really agree with that. This website is really nice example. This is really nice.
It's so fucking beautiful, and it's got I think it's got some audio descriptions as well, but I've not listened to them. But it's got some in Russian and some in English. I think you get the red and the green dot.
Yeah.
And it's a Ukrainian futurism exhibition that I covered for my social media stuff. But when they sent it to me, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is the kind of quality that I'm looking for.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, this is exactly it. Yeah, it's funny you say about, like, the hybrid as well, because, like, how I'm doing my dissertation, it's going to be, like, chapter 1 is essentially about, sort of, like, it's an amalgamation of, like, the history of curation, as well as like the history of digital art, and then it goes into like present examples and how kind of COVID has impacted both. And then the final example is about how, like you said, where it's the latest is creating, hybrid experiences essentially. And I was going to because I went with my dad like a couple of weeks ago to, have you been to the Imperial War Museum? They're like the new thing that they've opened up there.
I haven't actually. What did they open up?
It was they redid their like Second World War collection, and they've redone the well, not redone, but they've added to I can't think of the word, the Holocaust bit, the Holocaust Memorial, and literally it was like when you were walking around, every single room it was a painting that documents that time or was from that time, like personalized stories of like particular people that went through, let's just say, the Holocaust or something. Yeah, they went through like maybe it was a particular camp in the, where they were at a concentration camp at the Holocaust. And then it was utilizing like projection mapping, video mapping in like almost where the Imperial War Museum themselves are using archive footage to, and then they've obviously put that onto like Premiere Pro and After Effects to add like text and whatnot. And then it was. Yeah, it was just an amalgamation of like different things that I felt. Yeah, 100. I felt there was, but it was just every single room had this. Yeah, it was every single room had like the same hybrid of, or they would do it where they would. How can I say? In the Second World War bit, they like recreated like a someone's house that had been bombed, and they told like a personal story about that particular house. So then they recreated that house, and then they had audio playing inside of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think though that that is what I think is going to be the main. I think that places like the Tate, the British Museum, maybe not so much the British Museum, but definitely the Tate and the V&A, I can see utilising that a lot more as well.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. Do you think that something like that's because of COVID that's kind of accelerated, or do you think was always going to be the case anyway?
I think it was always coming.
Right.
But obviously they just had to think fast because of COVID. But I don't think if we didn't have COVID, it would have come anyway, but it would have come much slower because I think they were very far technologically. Most of them were still very far from where they are now, and we're going to be far from it for years to come.
Yeah.
But it's just that they had to adapt very quickly. So thanks to that, people can now see work from all over the world. So I think accessibility-wise, obviously, it's done wonders.
Because I was reading about, there was this woman who, I forgot what her role was at the V&A. She was called Suzanne Keane, and it basically was like a quote from like the late 90s where she was essentially saying that and a couple of other people I've interviewed, they were talking about how it's only really been in the last, because of COVID especially, but only really in the last like 5 years or so where museums are starting to like really use online platforms. But the quote, I forgot what it is off the top of my head, but she was essentially saying in like the late 90s that she was scared that because of like the internet, that people would no longer go to like a museum, and that instead that they would just view people's work online instead. So I was wondering, like, have you ever, from what you've studied and stuff, have you ever had it where, I don't know, has somebody ever said like a similar sentiment to that, where they don't want to go online because they've got a fear that will take over, or I don't know if I'm making sense there.
Yeah, you are, but no, I think I've not seen anyone say, well, actually, maybe a Russian museum ages ago, but I don't remember exactly which one it is. but it was more the fact that they didn't have the resources or felt like they couldn't do a competent enough job at representing the collection with respect online, that they didn't do it, rather than that they were afraid people were going to go online only. And I think that might be either because they just weren't thinking about it that much last time when I was reading about it, or because obviously they know that their core audiences will stay their core audiences, because people who are going to come to museums are going to come to museums. They're not going to look at stuff online. Like, I'm an avid art person, gallery goer.
For sure.
And during COVID, I was really sad that I couldn't go to the shows, but, like, I would 100% wait for a physical show, then go online and view it. It is quite rare for me to actually go and do that, and this show that I sent you is one of the ones where I actually took time to quote unquote walk through it online. Yeah. Because I can't go to Ukraine and I'm very interested in the show, but like my core places would never lose me as an audience member because it's not the same online anyway. So I think it's interesting to hear that other significant people are thinking about this, but I just really don't think that's the case, and I don't think it will ever be the case, even if NFTs are here to stay. Like, there are physical shows of NFTs still, because there will never be ceasing demand for that, because I think people are now more than ever craving connection and physical presence, which they've not been able to always uphold during COVID. So I think that's never going to change.
Yeah. That was funny as well. I was talking to this woman, Rebecca Kahn, and she was, she's been based in Berlin, but now she's based in Vienna, and she was saying to me that I find this interesting, maybe for you from going to Russia. Would you say that maybe like London is more willing and does like use like uses like these these like projection mapping and all these model, the hybrid model as opposed to in Russia or in Central Europe? Would you say?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it depends on where in Eastern Europe and Central Europe. I think places like Poland, for example, Ukraine, places that are more European than Eastern European in a way, right? Or are more aligned with Europe anyway, tend to be more advanced. This has historically been the case, so this doesn't surprise me. And are more willing to explore those formats, whereas places that are closer to Russia politically even tend to be more traditionalist, because obviously there is that, even though there's no Iron Curtain, there is a certain sense of holding on to something, right? Both politically and otherwise. So I think that's why. And also the problem is that this whole diversity thing is only starting to come into play in Russia, which means that there are a lot of old women working in museums, and I'm not saying that they can't be progressive. But a lot of them aren't, because they want to remain in their seat as long as possible. So I think that also plays into it, because I believe that, if I'm not wrong, most organizations in Europe and the UK have time limits on, maybe not the director of the museum, but have time limits on board members, and certain staff members have fixed contracts, which are not beneficial for us coming into the industry, but are beneficial for the institution, because then you don't get, a set of the same people sitting around for years and years. And, at one point, obviously, they stop generating ideas. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think, in part, this is true.
I think it's funny though, because this Rebecca, she said that in Vienna and Berlin from her time there, and she's been there for like 20 years or so, she was saying that it still is traditional as compared to the UK for adopting those things, which I thought was interesting, because I always think of, for me, I don't know, for me personally, whenever I think of like, innovation and stuff like that, I think of places like Germany. So I thought it was just funny that she was saying that it still is very traditional in museums, where you still have to pay to go in. It's just like, a big block of boring text. You're just looking at something. I was surprised that that's still the case there. Yeah.
I think it's the holding on to tradition and cultural preservation sort of idea, and they think that that is the way to do that. So, I mean, maybe in those places it wouldn't surprise me as well if it was like Italy, Vienna, Germany. Those are, strong representatives of traditional art.
Right.
That were not experimenting.
Yeah.
Obviously in Germany you had the Bauhaus and stuff like that, so it doesn't really count. But those two always sat very separately in terms of schooling and exhibiting.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be exhibited in very different places. So I think the traditional museums don't tend to go as far in that regard. And it's interesting actually that in the UK, even the very traditional museums like the National Portrait Gallery have pushed those boundaries quite far.
Yeah.
Whereas German museums have not necessarily.
I didn't even think of that because, you're right, especially with somewhere like Italy where you've got the same, the fashion houses, the architects, and it's the same, these same institutions which have been there for, hundreds of years are still very much, which maybe that, which the UK doesn't have, so maybe that's also factors into that.
Or has. I mean, obviously National Gallery, National Portrait Gallery, those British Museum, those are prime examples of similar institutions. But,
right. You're sorry. Yeah. So, but they've changed in Italy and
but
these places.
They have adapted, not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a big sort of database vibe where you go and you find the work because they're used more as libraries for reference. So it's not unexpected that they will be more traditional, but I think specifically the National Gallery have pushed their traditionalist boundaries quite a bit in the past few years, including they had this show called, was it Rembrandt? I think it was an immersive Rembrandt experience.
Okay.
It wasn't the most fantastic show I'd ever seen, but it was an immersive exhibition about... Was it about Rembrandt or was it maybe about Da Vinci? Sorry, I can't remember for the life of me. I will look this up. But anyway, it was an immersive experience that they made about a serious traditional artist. Mm-hmm. But it was sort of on the border of playful and contemporary in the way that they presented it. And I would have never expected it from an institution like the National Gallery. And whether those institutions are afraid of doing that normally because they're worried that they're going to lose their audience through the new approach because they go there for the traditional. Mm-hmm. They go there for what they're used to.
Right.
Is a question, I suppose. But I feel like in the UK they've really pushed the boundaries. Maybe that's because we're really sort of a very international community, whereas even Germany, obviously Berlin is very international, but in comparison to London,
100%,
it's still very German.
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah.
So I guess it also depends on how globalized the place is, which would also explain why Russia would not be moving at the same pace necessarily in some regard, because we're also very homogenous.
Lordy Lord. How's your family over there? What's the latest with your uncle?
Good. He was actually allowed to come home for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Which was really nice because, as I don't know if you remember, but he was like locked up in Siberia in this flat that they were renting. Mm-hmm. So they allowed him to come home for Christmas, which is nice. I don't know what's happening now. I guess he probably had to go back, but I need to find out. But they're like really dragging out the case, so nothing is evident.
Is there even like a date for him for I don't know, for when he will receive his punishment or won't receive his punishment?
There was, but it got moved, and it's inevident what that could be. It could be anything from, I think what's the maximum term? It's like 15 or 20 years for what they're trying to pin on him, and I think the minimum, my dad thinks he's going to do at least a few years. Jesus. So, I mean, I sincerely hope that's not the case, and also, I'm hoping if they stretch it out long enough till this upcoming election, maybe he can get out through amnesty, because the president tends to sweeten the blow of him getting reelected again.
Right.
Every year by, through amnesty.
When is the latest election?
Isn't it in September?
Oh, goodness.
I'm not 100% sure. I need to double check that. Don't quote me on that.
Christ. Man, I didn't realise it's this year.
No, actually, you know what? Maybe it's 2024. But there's some governmental election into like the parliament,
Right.
which may affect it. But we'll see. We'll find out. But yeah.
Good old Putin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bit of a shit show.
Yeah. What's the latest with James? How's he doing?
So good. We went to see Cirque du Soleil yesterday. So it was really good. He had a great time.
Did he bring his girlfriend?
We tried to, but her mom wouldn't let her go because we didn't have enough tickets, to take the mom and the girl. But they have been going on lots of play dates, and they went on a play date before we went to Cirque du Soleil and had a fantastic time.
What's she called again?
They're so fucking cute. Victoria.
Victoria. Victoria. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Very, very cute.
Goodness. Victoria. That photo you I think you either sent me or you showed me where it's James.
Was it from his birthday? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's just golden.
Yeah. They're very cute.
Very
it's
good.
love.
Yeah.
Don't try to tell me otherwise. Oh, so cute.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy Lord.
Yeah. How's your mum?
Yeah, she's good. It's we're they're looking I mean, I think the plan is now to sell this place actually in the summer. And yeah, man, should be getting fingers crossed if it sells in the summer, potentially getting a place up in like Richmond area, so
nice.
I think it'll be good. It'll be definitely a new new start. I think it'll just be it'll be a closing of a chapter. I think.
Yeah.
Well, not completely, but I think that'll definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you with your mum? Have you had any more conversations or?
No, not really. But over Christmas, I didn't go there for Christmas Eve, which felt great.
Right.
I just stayed home, and then I went over for Christmas Day just to do like presents and stuff. And then I came back home, and we had Lauren and Lewis over, which was really nice. So it was just like I opted out of all the stressful parts of Christmas, and it felt great. And she didn't have a fit about it at all, which I thought she would. So, and now she's got some newly discovered energy and positivity, and I hope it lasts. She's like super inspired and happy, and she's happy, I'm happy. It's great. So yeah.
Are you still seeing the therapist?
No, not really. We're in like a maintenance phase. Like if I need her, then I can talk to her. But I feel so happy and stable that I don't feel like it's necessary. So I'm just keeping the sessions for like, if a crisis strikes. Right.
Yeah. No, of course.
Then maybe. But right now it feels like I'm completely out of crisis. So.
Did you make that decision, or did she say that to you?
Sort of a bit of both. I think we were seeing each other quite rarely. She was like, "Do you want to schedule for next week or for a month's time?" And I was like, "For a month's time." And then we would see each other once a month, and then eventually we saw each other once every 2 months. And then it's just like, now we're doing it, and we're getting through the sessions in like 20 minutes rather than an hour. Like there's nothing to talk about. It's just an update.
Right. Yeah.
So then it was like, what's the point? Let's just keep them aside for, when something new comes up. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it comes up, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Very good.
No, have you still got your Christmas lights?
On the stairs we do.
I was going to say that should just
because they look really good.
I was just going to say that should just be a permanent. That should just be a permanent thing at the household.
It should be a permanent installation. It looks so good.
It looks very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. And I got an email back from a prospective supervisor, which I'm fucking delighted about for my PhD. But now he's like, "Oh yes, this sounds super interesting. Send me a detailed proposal." I'm like, haha. That's something I don't have. So
more work.
It's something I'm going to have to birth in a few weeks. Well, because I didn't think he'd get back to me this quickly.
How much do you need to... Whoa, hold up. How much do you need to write?
I don't know, maybe 3,000 words.
Oh my god. Oh god.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I mean, I have an essay that is like the basis of this proposal, so I'm just going to pick and choose from that, pull it together, send it over, and hopefully... I mean, if not this year, then next year. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not putting any pressure on it.
Yeah.
But it would be nice, and I'm obsessed with this dude because he wrote a book with a guy I consistently reference throughout my BA and MA, and who I'm obsessed with, who works in Italy, and actually between Italy and France. And this guy wrote a book with him, and I read it at the British Library the other day, and I'm obsessed.
Wow, Ksenia.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
Very excited. Yeah, and I'm here, like, I was talking to Lauren the other day, and she was like, so what's this PhD thing? How are you going to do this? And I'm going to be like, and I was like, I'm going to be, full-time PhD, full-time at Wizards Council. She was like, sounds like a recipe for burnout. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, now, if anybody's going to be able to do it, it's Ksenia. Yeah. So wait, how long would it be doing the PhD?
3 years.
Fuck! Oh my god! What the hell? Oh no! Oh no! Oh fucking hell! Oh Jesus Christ, man! Are you sure you want to do that? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
No! Oh man! Oh.
But at least it skips me years of being in industry because I want to work in heritage policy, right? So it skips me years of working through, the career ladder in the industry. Because if I've got a PhD, then, I can be like a research advisor. Right. Whereas through the normal career ladder, it takes at least 10 years of work experience.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but surely if that's for 3 years and it's full time, would your job something's got to give a little bit? Come on now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We know Ksenia as well. You're already in there for like you're already there for like a week, and you already like planned out who you're gonna who what your next role's gonna be in the place. Like, oh my god.
You know it's going to happen. Look, my plan actually now, if I manage to get into the PhD, when I manage to get into the PhD, and get some funding for it as well. Okay, here's the plan. I get the funding. I get the student loan. I'm working alongside, even if I have to switch to part-time because council supports flexible working, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to let me go because it's hard enough for them to hire in the first place. So...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
talk your shit. I've
got the student loan, I've got the funding, right? So the funding is paying for my life.
Yeah.
The student loan I'm keeping aside. The work is also paying for my life and maybe some holidays, which I will definitely need if that's my working regime. And then I save the student loan and use it for a house deposit as soon as I graduate the PhD. Here's my master plan.
Oh my Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
And by that point, I will already be in a job that qualifies for a mortgage because you have to earn 24 grand a year. And I make 20 right now. And the next potential promotion is 25. So, yeah. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm playing?
No, we know you're not. Oh, man.
It's gonna happen. It's decided.
It's gonna. When did you come up with this plan? Is this just recent or?
Yeah.
Oh man. Ksenia.
You know what? Like, even if I have to kill myself for 3 years, I will do it.
Yeah.
I will do it if it means I get to have the life I want.
Yeah. No. No. We respect that. Oh man.
Yeah. Casually thinking to himself, she's completely nuts.
No. No, we know Ksenia. I mean, I shouldn't, because I haven't seen you in a while. It's like I shouldn't be surprised. Like, why am I surprised? Like,
Honestly, You should know better by now.
Yeah, I should know. Yeah, exactly. That's like, at the end of the day, that's on me. So yeah. I love it though.
I'm not gonna stop for 1 second.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh my god. I just planned on a deposit. Oh my god. How is it with your flatmate? Is it good, or is she cleaning at least?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I can comment on that by text.
Oh no! Oh, okay. I won't ask. Alright. I'll let you send me an essay on text then. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's an oh yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
No, it's not going to be an essay. It will just be bullet points.
Right. Oh god. Have you at least told her these bullet points or not?
Huh?
Have you told her these bullet points?
Some.
Some.
I'm
okay.
progressing through it.
Oh. Okay. For another time then. Okay. Okay. Oh. Some. Good old Krebia. My god. Jesus.
Indeed.
When am I next going to see you, Krebia? Come on now.
I don't know. You tell me.
I tell you.
You're the one with the crazy dissertation.
What's the date now? 17th. Okay.
Have you been to the Lux exhibition in the end?
No.
Okay, well that's on until early February. Oh shit, but your deadline is in early February.
Define, hang on, let me look this up. The Lux.
Because I want to go again, but if you're not going to go with me, then I'm going to go with my brother.
Okay,
not
sure.
with James, with my other brother.
Yeah. Actually, hang on. Hold up.
It's until the 6th of February.
6th of February. Okay. Okay. Well, why don't we say? Okay, I'll have Cass on the Sunday, so I think the 5th is going to have to be it then. The 5th or the 4th then. Is it all booked out? Or are you busy? Is it all booked out or are you busy?
Hopefully not. Hopefully no to both of those. Mm-hmm. It would be better. So are you working on Friday at all? On the 4th?
No, I'm not working on the Friday, so yeah. I'd probably
Maybe it would be good during the day, because the problem with that show is, because it's so Instagrammable, God forbid.
Right.
It's in the evenings, in like the very social times, in the
Right.
evenings and weekends. It's full of Insta girls, which I hate, who make noise and interfere with the experience.
Sure.
So yes, if we go like during the day when it's unsociable hours.
Okay, I tell you what then, because I'll be essentially like I'm only coming back to King. I mean, I've kind of pulled a bit of a porky. I've said to my uni that my parents are away with work, so I've got to stay home. But I'm only coming back to like the Kingston area for like my 2 shifts at Cass. But then what I'll do is on the Friday the 4th, I'll book this like ASAP. I'll come up. I'll get like a morning train, and then I'll meet you at like early afternoon then. Or is it better to me even? Or is it better to even meet at lunchtime? Like what's the better option?
Probably early afternoon is better. I'm thinking that's more unsociable.
Okay, sure. Okay, then that's, if you can do that, then for sure. I mean, I'll look at, if you let me know you can do that, then I'll book the tickets.
I can do that, so let's book the tickets.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll book the tickets then.
Great.
For sure.
I will look at. Wait, let me just quickly, since you're here and I've got my laptop. I'm just gonna figure out that I don't have a work meeting, because technically I'm supposed to be working at that time. But who is going to check? What they're going to do? Shoot me?
Look, if you can do it, then that'd be great.
I can 100% do it. Yeah, it's fine. I don't have any meetings that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on it now.
Great.
There are spaces. What? Okay, tell me a time, and then I'll book.
What time do they have?
In
the morning or afternoon. Well, because it depends on when your train pulls in, right? So think about when you're feeling human enough to wake up and get here.
I mean, personally, if I could, probably what I'll do is I'll probably come up with a suitcase. I'll probably like just get to my place, just dump my shit, and then like just get the train. Yeah. What about like? Is 3 too late or like 2 o'clock? Like what would you say is better?
With 2.
2. Okay, I'll say 2 then. Yeah. I'll get 2. Hang on. Would we be a 18 to 20? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'll get 2 of those now then. Bingo.
Nice. Thank you.
No worries. Least I can do. But yeah. Yeah, man. Let's do that. Yeah, it's been ages. Like, when was the last? I'm trying to think when the last time I even saw you. Like,
was it November?
Was it when we went to?
I think it was, or maybe early December. It was after I started my job, I think.
Yeah. Was it at the Barbican, or did we meet after that?
No, it must have been the Barbican.
Jesus Christ, that's a bit of time ago. Yeah.
Wowie. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely.
I was there the other day. They've got a Noguchi show, a sculpture show, which is fantastic.
Ooh.
Go and see it.
Noguchi. Ooh, okay. I'm definitely gonna have a look at that in a minute.
Looks really good, but also better to go out on sociable hours.
For sure. Is it what? So is that like a similar setup to when you and I went, or like you're in that space?
No, it's like a full-on sculpture exhibition.
Oh shit! My bad. Oh snap! Okay. Oh shit! I'm seeing videos of it now.
It's really, really cool.
Fuck. Okay. Sounds. Fucking hell! I need to do this.
Yes, you do.
Damn. Who'd you see this with?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds. Damn. Yeah. Well, thank him anyway for that video, that NFT video. That was bloody good. That was bloody good. Are you back with him, or what's the latest with him?
God, no. Who do you take me for? A crazy person?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a question. I mean, is that too crazy to ask? I wouldn't say that, would I?
No, I mean, probably not. I have a history of getting back with exes.
You tell me.
Yeah, but no.
No? Okay. What about that Paddy dude? What happened to him? Oh no, what happened? Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shit show. Like, we were talking and he was like, I miss you, like, I miss you, like, I miss you, like, I miss